A very good morning to one and all present here. I would like to welcome you all for the webinar on Voice on Innovation. I would like to thank our resource person for accepting our invite. Prayer is the link that connects us with God. In the praise of God's Vasavamba, I would like to welcome Aparna D from 3rd BCA to sing a prayer song.
श्री महेश्वरी वासवी नगरीश्वरी परमेश्वरी कामितार्थमुलिच्छि ब्रोवमु कन्यका परमेश्वरी देवदेवी महेश्वरी जगदीश्वरी भुवनेश्वरी कामवेवमुयल्लवेलल कन्यका परमेश्वरी बालचन्द्रगिरीटधारिणि भव्यसुन्दररूपिणी वैश्यवंशयिशोभिवर्तिनि कन्यका परमेश्वरी श्रीमहेश्वरी वासवी नगरीश्वरी परमेश्वरी कामितार्थमुलिच्छि ब्रुवमु कन्यका परमेश्वरी कन्यका परमेश्वरी कन्यका परमेश्वरी.
Thank you, Aparna. A beautiful smile is the best universal welcome. It can make the day and good day easily. I would like to welcome Nandini Pekin from 3rd BCA to welcome the gathering.
A very good morning and warm welcome to everyone. I would like to welcome our resource person of the day, Mr. A.J. Joel, Associate Manager, R.R. Johnny. We heartily welcome you, sir. I also welcome our ever supporting principal, Dr. T. Mohaneshri ma'am, Correspondent Shri Uttukuru Sarat Kumar sir, Vice Principal Dr. P.B. Vanitha ma'am, Vice Principal Academics Dr. M.V. Napine ma'am, IQAC Coordinator Dr. P. Bharani Kumari ma'am, IIC President Dr. A.S. Nagalata ma'am, Head of the Department Ms. J. Gajavalli ma'am, department staffs and our beautiful students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all.
Thank you, Nandini. Creativity is thinking up of new things. Innovation is doing up of new things. With a great note, I would like to welcome Aparna D from 3rd BCA to welcome our chief guest.
Good morning to everyone. I extend my warm welcome to you all. I find immense pleasure to introducing our resource person of the day, Mr. A. Joel, Associate Manager in RRE Donley. Sir completed his bachelor's in computer applications in Anna University and MCA in Sikkim Manipal University. He has a certificate Python developer and RPA developer. Sir having 9 years of experience in IT industry and various phases of software development lifecycle. His experience in all leading RPA tools, data mining and AI application is accountable for identifying the scope of automation across all the organization. He is having a strong passion for work, for teaching, and has been conducting Python and various technical trainings. His proven track record of helping students learn Python quickly and effectively. He has taught over 1,000 plus students. Sir is having the ability to explain computer concepts in simple and effective manner. On behalf of everyone, I welcome you, sir. Now the platform is yours.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the warm welcome, and I thank the college principal and staff for arranging this session. Yes, am I audible? Am I clear? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you
Good.
are audible, sir.
Yeah. So we'll try to have this as an interactive one, right? We'll try to have this as an interactive session so that we all in the same page. And yes, before we get started, I would like to know what do you think we are going to cover today, or like what is something which you may gain, or what will be the income for you guys after this session? What do you guys think? What's the thought process? You can speak up, or you can give in the chat, right? So we can see that around. Ma'am, can you just enable the share screen mode? It's showing that disabled. Screen sharing is disabled.
Sir, 1 second, sir, 1 second. Sir, now you can share, sir. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can able to share the screen now. Thanks. Right, hope you can see the screen, right? So I'll just set the basic agenda, right, of today. So you would have heard that in this very beautiful day of World Technology Day, right? So we are going to see the technology growth from where we started and where we are now, right? As you all would have heard of how the technology was like suddenly drastically for the past few decades, like it's just been like going upward, right? So yes, can someone tell me why a drastic change or like a drastic upgrade in the technologies occurred in the past few decades, like maybe 2 decades you can say roughly, right? So in that 2 decades it just drastically evolved. Can someone tell me why, or what is the leading factor for this? Anything, just it's open forum. So as we all know that whatever data we work on, right? So the data plays a vital role for everything, right? You would have heard about the recent technologies like VR, AI, right? And all other factors like whatever maybe the people needs have been grown. Yes, people needs, like we can say that the needs are an equal proportionate for the development, or also we can say that like there's a saying called as laziness is the mother of monkey, right? Sorry, mother of invention, right? So whatever we want to do it, we want to do it faster, easier, right? To complete the work as soon as possible. Yes, rightly said. So yes, whatever we do, right? Like all the factors, right, all the activities, instead of manually we do it, we want something to be done faster, easier, right, to make that life easier, right, to make things easier for us to perform all those activities, right? So that's the exact matter of fact which evolved or made this whole thing to be an evolutionary factor, right? How it was before and how it is now and how it can be in the future. Previously it was like we all would have seen like TV was in simpler way. We saw that more, television was in a bigger one. Now it became small. It became nanotechnology, right? Then we everyone had their mobiles. In the olden days, it was like a bigger one. Now it's very small. You can even carry in your pocket and hands and everything, right? And it became touch screen and all the technologies come into picture, right? So there is some new technologies which are we. I just coming to this one, right? In a bit matter of time, right? So we are today we are going to see about what are the different technologies that are currently trend in the market, and as you guys are there in the field, like you, what you guys should be aware of and how you guys should be well versed in the factor of what all technologies you can learn that can help you in the point of having a job, right? As we all learn to get job, right? So we want to, we educate ourselves, we enhance our knowledge so that our skills have been upskilled, and we will be fulfilling the requirement in the market, right? So that whatever technologies we perform, those things will be helpful for all the industrial requirements, right? So we should be up and going on in the networking or in the required fields in the market, right? So what all things we would have going through, right? So we are going to see that, and we'll see what are the technologies like AI, ML, what are different types, what is the data science, and what how the data science has come into picture, and how it has evolved in the past few years, right? All those things we are going to cover, right? So yes, so what are the, what is an AI? What is an AI? Anyone? Guys, just feel free, right? There's nothing called right or wrong, right? It's just about learning and upgrading ourselves. So you can feel free to talk. So you can answer your queries. It's all about learning. So you can just openly say your answers. What's an AI? You would have heard of the term AI, right? AI or automation. Artificial intelligence, automation, and so on. What's an AI? Anyone? Mimic of humans, okay? Controlled by the robots or machines. Controlling by, okay, fine. So why you feel like that AI or the automation has come into picture? Machines has to solve the problems. Artificial intelligence, okay, instead of humans, okay, fine. Why? Reducing man-made work, okay, fine. Reducing man-made work, yes, it is partially, yes, we are reducing the activities, whatever is being done. What else? Faster work, yes. Okay, let's take a scenario, right? In a funnier way, right? So you just started your day, right? And you just, let's take your guys are working in an organization, you are starting your day, you just started your day going on taking your bike, and the bike is punctured, you repaired your bike, right? And then you are just going on the way, along the way you have got caught by the police, and then you go into the office, it became late, and your manager shouting on you, and just you're just starting your work, right? Then you can imagine how great and funny it will be that day, right? The day begins with the awesome mode. And of course humans are born to make mistakes, right? So what happens, the impact, the emotional factors which are we do, right? A small factor, let's take, if I am working in a financial factor, right? Let's take I am working with some financial factors like 1000.00, right? Right, let's take 1000. In this example I'm just giving 1000.00, right? So this is input I have to give, but because of some hurry burry I just given comma. What will be happening? The overall currency or the overall ratio or the value of that particular thing has got totally changed, right? The overall aspect of the value denomination has got changed just by one small mistake, right? So yes, humans are born to make mistakes, right? So that's the factor. Whatever happens is like when an automation comes into picture, it, whatever we thought it to do, it will do. It's not do beyond that, not do less than that, right? So what happens is like whatever we are giving it, it will just perform the activity, and it works every time 24 bar 7. It will not make any hike bonus or some strikes or something like that, right? And it makes our life easy, right? So humans or a brain is something which can be utilized in more useful manner or more resourceable factor, right? So what happens is like all the industries are moving towards automation, right? You would have heard about like all the IT industries are moving towards automation. Automation plays a vital role, it will throw out our jobs and everything. but the factor is not true, right? Well, if you ask me, when if a guy is who is up and trending in the market and who is ready to evolve yourself, right? The evolution comes into picture when you are ready to evolve yourself with the technology. That's where this uh, trending and you will be sustaining in the market, right? So yes, that's the bitter truth in that particular factor, right? So some few factors like that is artificial intelligence. You have heard about that, where you have all the AI which perform that, either it may be a physical AI or maybe a virtual one, or you have heard about metaverse, blockchain technology, quantum computing, digital immune system, right? Hyper automation. That's where a human activity will be automated by all the software based automation, or called hyper automation. Then sustainable technology, then hyper kind of intelligence work, and so on. Right. So what happens is, like, now you would have here seen like all the things which are we are using is there in your palm, right? Just in your hands. To perform the activity, you just have to just click and perform the activity. It will do the activity for us, right? Likewise, all the data which are we are performing is being controlled, or it will be stored in some place. A data which plays a vital role in the day in day out of activity. I guess everyone would have heard about the tech called chat gpt, right? Chat gpt, which is currently trending, and you would have heard about that. It will throw out the jobs and everything which are there, but that's a debate which we can have it on a later phase, right? You would have heard about chat gpt, if I'm not wrong. Has anyone heard about that chat gpt? I know few college students are using that for doing their homeworks and the programs and all the works, right? Projects and so on. Yes. Yes. Chat GPT. How it's been done? It's just an chatbot which perform the activity whatever we give. Can someone quickly think and tell me how it's been done, or how it's performing their work? What's been allocated to you? So you may be asking some a big random of questions, right? So it may be in our own way of communicating that, right? But it will give us the expected output. Can someone narrate or give tell me how it's been done? We are going to see that in the next slide anyway. So how it's been done, but still I just like to know your thought process on that. So in a factor of data, right? Whatever we give, if you have, if you guys have time, you can just check in ChatGPT, like what will be the trend for the stock market for current today. It will say like my data are available from or till 2021. That means it's just a data where it's been fed with n number of data which has been collected, and the data set is available till 2021. And with that, it's just trying to combine and provide us the up-to-date trends and all the requirements as per the coding and all the factors, right? So yes, all the technology or all the factors which are it is doing, it's with the help of the data which is available till 2021. So all the data which are we are doing, so data plays a vital role in the current technology. So a data is something which is being used for all the machine learning, deep learning, or AI, or automations, or even robots, right? Or even you are working on a data scientist, or in, let's take in a simpler term, we will see in a couple of minutes like how your mobile phones and how the data has been captured and everything, right? So why, to answer the very first question, like why it's been a drastic change, or why all the technology currently came into picture in a short period of time, is like is just having, we are just performing all the data in our hand. Previously, if you remember the activities, if you want to perform or browse something, you may need to go to a internet center or a cafe, so you can have the internet access. And I believe that not everyone had the feature to have it in your mobile, in your system, or in your home. So someone has to go to perform the activities in a separate area, where the number of time or the data which has been collected, right, that is very limited, right? You work maximum for an hour or a two to perform those activities, right? So in that factor, the area or the data which has been collected is very minimal, right? So we'll see a graph in a couple of minutes, right? So in that, the trending sets of how it was and why how it is currently, right? and how it's been gathering all data. So these are different types of AI, right, where which is currently in the current trends, right? So first one is called the reactive AI. So it's just a simple AI which perform a pattern of recognition task, right, where it just perform a certain activities. It's a simpler one. Let's take we are going to if you are playing a chess, or you can say a simple RPA tool or a straightforward RPA where it just mimic a human activity. It doesn't have any decision making, but it just whatever we do, it will just do the activity. Like we can say it as a macro automation, where whatever we have given, it will just capable of doing the activity, where it doesn't store the previous history to learn by itself and do it, right? That's the first thing. So that's called reactive AI. The next one is the limited memory. That's where the self-driving AI cars, right? Self-driving cars, where it just align with the data which is there, but it has a minimal memory storage. So let's take you, everyone might have heard that, you may heard that recent smart TVs has its own storage. Why? Can someone tell me why? Why storage is required in the recent smart TVs? Yes, we say that if we have laptops or mobiles, yes, we are required of that, but uh, why in TV? In our old TVs we don't have that, right? We don't have any smart thing, or we don't have any storage area, right? Why in the recent smart TVs, right, we have this storage? Can someone tell me why? So that's something called as the cache memory. So where the data whichever you are searching, let's take you have a smart TV, you search in YouTube, right? Whatever channels or musics or albums or whatever you want to perform, it will be searching on that. So that is just stored in some area, right? So those that is a factor where it will just capture the data on the system, right? So that system is just a factor, like we capture the search history, the cache memory of that, to perform the uh, requirement as per the need. So from that you will be getting that this is something which you may like. So it just tries to learn from the data which has been there. So that is something called as a limited memory, where it not evolve beyond that, but it will try to have a pattern out of that, right? So it will try to learn from a minimal thing. Let's take if you are playing a chess game, right? You will be playing, there'll be like easier, normal, easy, and hard. Sorry, someone was saying something. So while going with the let's take like we are playing a chess game, right? So you may see like you are winning sometimes. How we are doing that? The pattern of the learning, it will be a minimal area, right? Sometimes you may keep on getting updates. So the data will be evolved, or the pattern whichever has been, or how it's been getting failed, it will be just stored in the cache memory, that will be given to that, and the next pattern will be created, right? And then the next time when you get upgrades on your the game, and if you want to play the same hard level, you may have to struggle hard, because the previous history has been learned and it will do the activity for us, right? So it will be it will not able to learn from that, or it will we will not have to, we have to evolve from our own combination. So there's something called as theory of minds, and the last one is self-awareness, which is still not yet been done, but still yes. Theory of mind, where we have all the AI evolution which is there, like all the self-understanding robots, it will respond, and whatever we give, it will learn and it will do it, but not like on a higher level, right? So that's something is called as theory of minds. So now we'll go to the next one, where how it works. So everything needs something to be taught on that, right? It needs a teaching which has to be performed, a teaching which has to be done using a machine learning algorithm, right? A machine has to be learned by itself. So there are different types. Can someone do someone have any idea what are the different types of machine learning algorithm which is there, which we'll just quickly cover up and move ahead, right? Have you heard of machine learning? Sorry, I'm not sure. Like I just got dropped off, so I just rejoined it. I just got dropped off from the Zoom link. So yes, let me share the screen again. Can I see the screen? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So machine learning is something like the key factor to make the AI to be working. So these are something which we do in our day in day out, right? So I work as a part of artificial intelligence as part of the machine learning and so on. So yes, we work with this deep learning technology, machine learning and AI. So this is the first phase, and they will just show you the next phase how the data comes and plays into the, right? So here in this, you can see that deep learning is just like a subset of ML, where it will find the neural network connections, and machine learning is the subsidiary of AI, where it finds the statistics of all the possible combination and everything. So we have three different types of that, right? Supervised, unsupervised, and reinforced. So for supervised is nothing but I'll give an input, someone will be there to check that log algorithm and see the model whether it is working or not. Let's take an example. I given an input called apples, right? I'll just someone will be using the algorithm to check whether it is identifying that as an apple or not. And when I give a green color apple, it has to identify and tell me that that's an apple. That means it is having a label. So I'll just give it with the label. I'll tell that it is identified with the label and that's a label. So that is called supervised. So another example is like I have given a data set like this. It has to tell me it's a duck or not a duck. So I'll train with this particular data set. When I give a new input, it has to tell me that that's a duck. So that's the simplest form of telling that in a supervised machine learning. So supervised machine learning is nothing but I give something, I'll train it, I'll make it to be done. So in our day-to-day life, we are using our smartphones, right? In our smartphones, we have used OK Google, right? We have use Google Assistant or Siri or Alexa, right? So all those things are there. How it does, the first time it'll ask you to recognize your voice. How will do, either you'll say like OK Google 3 times. So you're training your data set, right? So that is the input, which this is something like the input which you are giving. So instead of you are saying okay Google, someone else said that, it will say that it won't open, it won't respond, right? So that's how it is. It's a simpler one, yes or no. This is what it is, this is me. So see, whatever I said, it is just my Google Assistant start to react to that, right? So that's how it is. So whatever we are saying, it will recognize to the voice I have given, and it will start to work on that. So that's what I'm trying the data set. I give a new input, that is some other time someone else other than me, if I give the input, it has to recognize it's me or not. This is just an example called Cortana, which is there in our Windows, right? So the next one is called the biometrics. Yes, of course, I guess, I believe everyone is using in a smartphone for unlocking and locking and all, right? So you will be using your fingers to identify what is the pattern you want to give. You may be giving in single pattern, and sometimes it want to find the connections between the thumb, right? So it will just expand the data set. So to collect the all the possible combinations, so that later on, if you are trying to give it, it will make sure that you are the right person, right? So that's how it is, right? For unsupervised machine learning, it's just like a whatever I'll give, it just group everything, right? Let's say if you are going to a marriage, right? You don't know anyone, it's just your friend's marriage. You go there, right? And on seeing that, how you will group the people, you want to group the people by seeing that. You may be saying, see, those guys are sitting together, they may be friends, or all the they you may be seeing all the, it may be a bride place or grooms people, right? If you know the people, yes. If you don't know the people, you, how you will group them, what are different combinations you may use to group them? Someone? So let's say if you are going to a marriage, right? By seeing the people, if you want to group the people, right? How you will group them? You don't know anything about their history or anything, whether they are bride side or groom side, anything like that, but you want to group them, how you will group them? You maybe you have to group them based on what? Boys and girls, yes, very good. What else? By age, yes. What else? By the personality, by the size of the character shape, yes. So how they are behaving, right? By that you may be grouping them. By the group of people sitting together, you may be grouping them, right? By the gender, you may be grouping them. By the age factor, you may be grouping them, yes. So when you go for this, let's take the marriage hall is a data, it's a data set, right? So that data set, you're just grouping now. How will group that without knowing the previous history or how they are or what's their name? You're just grouping them, right? So that is called unsupervised machine learning. It just groups everything together. So it finds the best pattern out of it and will group everything. In this given example, you can see that it just groups all the apple together, banana together, just mango together. But it doesn't know what's an apple, what's a banana, what's a mango, right? It just groups everything together. So that's called unsupervised machine learning. So in that's, let's take an example on that is like, so the same data set, if I give again, it'll just group all the ducks together, monster together, bunny together, and so on, right? So that's just a simpler one to make sure of that. So the same example, if you're going to a birthday party of some of your friends, right? So you don't know anyone, you'll just group them based on their behavior, activities, or their age, or the dress code and everything, right? So that's called unsupervised machine learning. Like if you are seeing the football where for the very first time, you may be grouping them based on their dress code, right? You may be grouping them based on the dress code, based on the position where they are playing, or based on how they are playing it, right? So that's how it is. So all the data which are we are giving, it just groups and it gives us the output. So a best example in the day-to-day life is Amazon. So you search for some mobiles, it'll give you all the possible combination of mobiles, right? Let's take, I'm searching for iPhones, all the combination of iPhones will come into picture. All the products of iPhone will come into picture, right? So that means it finds the best possible combination of that, right? So that's something is called as the unsupervised machine learning, which has been used vastly in all the industries for all the activities, right? So in our, this is just a quick scenario to see how you guys understand on that, right? So face recognition, we'll just go one by one. Face recognition, whether that will be a supervised or unsupervised. Someone? Anyone? How do face recognition work? By facial features. No, I just want to know whether it is supervised machine learning or unsupervised. I said an example for biometrics, right? Biometrics is a supervised machine learning, I have said. So likewise, can someone tell me face recognition whether that will be a supervised or unsupervised? Supervised. Any other answers? ரெண்டு பேர் தானா இவ்வளவு பெரிய குரூப்ல? Because it tries to find your pattern, right? So your pattern is the data set which you are giving, then telling that it's you, right? So if someone else opens, it will not open, right? Yes, very good. So what about Netflix? Netflix, you may get movie recommendation, right? Whether that is supervised or unsupervised. So the movie recommendation is coming on what? I know it's a bit of hard topic, but still I try to cover up in a very fast manner, but still, yes. So yes, you are right. It's unsupervised machine learning, right? Where it just tries to find the pattern of whatever you have searched. So that's what I was saying for YouTube also. Whatever you have searched, it will be just giving the best possible recommendation out of it, right? So it doesn't know what you like. It doesn't know what is the genre, but it'll just group everything based on your previous data, right? So it'll just group everything and give it to you. Right. Songs, you search for songs, all the possible songs will come into picture. You search for comedy genre, it will be giving all the comedies together, right? So that's how it is. It's an unsupervised machine learning. So what about fraud detection? Fraud detection unsupervised. Okay. What else? Fraud detection supervised. How it will be? It will be unsupervised or supervised? Unsupervised. Okay. சொல்லுங்க தப்பா இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல, we'll take care of it. I'll give you the right answer anyway. Unsupervised. Yes, it's an unsupervised. Why unsupervised? It will just group all the normal activities together. So, and it will group the abnormal activities. So, someone is trying to log in without any passcode or trying to log in without any other, like hackers are trying to activate or update that or get the data, right? So, for that, it will just get the one. So, it will group that based on that. So, it will become an unsupervised machine learning. Yes, very good, everyone. So yes. So now we are going to see the next phase where data science comes into picture, right? So I'll just give a connection of all the three things and how it got evolved, right? Right. So yes. So data science. So have someone heard of data science? What's the data science? What's the data science? Data science, data scientist. Would I heard of that, right? that works with data. Okay. Any other answers? Data science என்னன்னு தெரியாதா? ஏதாவது உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சதை சொல்லலாம், தப்பில்லை. Analyze and interpret the data. Okay. Analyze large amount of data, extracting meaningful insight and business. Okay. What else? What else? Data science is a vast area. You can say many things. To identify the pattern in the data. Okay. So yes, data science, right? Data science, yes. So data science is nothing but whatever data, right? From the data, we are just going to analyze, find the pattern. From the pattern, we are going to extract the data and group the data based on that, right? So what happens is, like, the data science plays a vital role in this. Before my system screen sharing is stopped. 1 second, something wrong happened. I'm just sharing my screen again. So many people are still joining. Okay. Kindly share that PPT, ma'am. Sure. So yes, coming back to the data science, right? So data science plays a key vital role in finding out all the patterns, even in the research area, or finding your vaccine for this, right? So we find the data from the previous history and we do the combination of activities and we'll do a stimulation out of it and to get the best result, whether it's working or not. If the result is outcome is good, then we will proceed and provide with the activities whatever we need to perform and so on, right? So yes, data science is the key factor for all the activities which we are doing it, right? So just waiting for one to share the screen.
मैं इलेक्शन में गया हूँ वो सब जंगल है ना
Yeah.
So yes, sorry guys, sorry for the delay. I guess something happened and there's a shutdown here, so my system got shut down. Yes, 1 minute. Let me just quickly share the screen. Yes, guys, can you see the screen?
No, sir, it is not visible.
Not visible. Just a moment. But I'm sharing the screen. Is it now visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yes. So you can see the screen, which the one which you are seeing now is the very first data visualization which has been done. You would have heard about this person, right? So Florencia Nightingale, who was the first one to work with the data-driven health. So where she analyzed and given a report stating that all the death or occurred not by the war, but more people are dying because of the disease. So that is some graph which has been done. There is a pie chart, advanced one, which has been created in the earlier days, and that's still one of the best result which has been come up to resolve that. So you can see the graph itself will tell you how it is been done, right? So it is the first one to let us know how a data can be driven, and the data is using to view this one, right? So you can see that how it was there in the earlier days, right? Before the war and after the graph has been submitted, how the people are recovered from the death ratio has been got drastically reduced. Even you can search on that. So this is the first and very foremost one where she has done the expert level to analyze the data. When we are working with the resource, it's not only with the data to present the data, to have it as a very meaningful insight. So data visualization comes into picture where the data which are we are working on it has been cleaned up and has been derived and given you that. So the modern data scientist is something like we are working with mathematical knowledge skills, communication, visualization, programming database, and all the areas where the data is being utilized, right? So all the data areas and how it's being utilized and what are different applications is being used and so on, right? So this is something which I was telling in the very beginning, where in the earlier days, we just had only like the data were only a structured one, and we don't have it as a digital one, right? We have it as an analog one. Most of the data even till now are still being used as an analog one, where the data has been given and it is just have the paperwork of all the digital activities, right? So that has been moved to the manual one. How it will be using a scanner, they'll scan the data. From the data, we have to understand what has been the handwritten, and based on the handwritten data, we are still and getting the values. That's where the deep learning ML technology is being used in most of the IT industries. When you are going with the banking or finance sectors, right, you would have seen that most of the challans, even till now in all the banks, all the data which are filling up, right? You may be filling up the challans to deposit some amount or get some amount or something like that. So in that area, you can see that it will be a manual return one, right? If you are depositing a check, previously it will take 3 days, but now you will be depositing in a machine where it will scan the data, scan the check, and will probably give it the expected date and time, and the amount is given, and it will scan the input, but it will ask us the human to do the activity. So that's where a human intervention has been required till now to do this. Even though we are having vast number of data, so all the data is being utilized. So previously, as I was saying, we don't have all the data available over the internet because the internet was having a restriction. We don't have the privilege to use it now day in day out, right? So that's where the data is just like played to get all the values from that. So you can see the next one where the data science is like the key factor for all the three things, right? For the computer science or the business domain or the mathematics and statistics, right? So data science is just the combination of everything to give the best result out of it. So what are things can be done out of data science is like using the machine learning algorithm. You need to have the data, right? That will give us the cleaned up data to perform an activity, right? For deep learning, neural network, data visualization, data engineering, mathematical statistics, what are the programming language or the business intelligence where Tableau and Power BI still uses the data science, right? Then computer science where the web development, MATLAB and everything is there. And rest all the applications like Python, clusters and so on. So while going with the things which are currently been using, that is like in the travel sector it's been used in the marketing sector, it's been used in the social media, right? So let's take an example like how it's been used in that. In data science has been used in the fraud detection to in the banks to identify the viewing the profiles for the past expectation, how it was there, and in the present how it is there. Based on that, they'll be getting the ratings and all the risk factors, whether they're able to pay it or not and everything. So you would have heard the term called as CIBIL score. That is something where it will be derived based on the data which has been available, right? The next one is the MRI scan, where it will identify the abnormality of the scan which has been performed, which helps the doctors to identify the problematic area to that it will be useful to rectify the issue, right? And yes, this is an interesting factor, right? Let's take an example. If two friends are sitting together using the same Wi-Fi, right, and both of them will not get the same answer, same advertisement. One will be getting a different advertisement, another one will be getting a different advertisement. Can someone tell me why? Why it is having a differentiation in the based on the search history, it will be showing. Okay, what else? So this is where it will get interesting. So let me see what all answers you got, right? So then I'll tell you in detail how it works, right? What else? What else? It's because of their watch history. Okay. No, let's take even if you are you would have heard that, right? In WhatsApp, you will be telling to your friend like you want to buy shoes, right? Then what are games or applications you buy open, right? It will show like the advertisement of shoes. Have you guys seen that? Or you search something in Google. Let's say you are searching for a dress, right? You search something in for a dress in Google, and all the games and the advertisements will be showing about that. Or if you are searching for a movie, or if you have watched something in the movie in YouTube, right? But still, your advertisements, whether in Amazon or Netflix, if it's going to come, it'll say that this movie has been loaded. Can someone think and tell me how it's been done? You say about watch history, yes. What else? What else could be the factor? It is there in your mobiles, right? We are using that. We are carrying everything, showcasing that, right? What could be the factor? யாருக்குமே தெரியல. எல்லாருமே மொபைல் யூஸ் பண்றீங்க தானே? They are interlinked by ID. Okay, what else? So have you seen the term called cache memory in your mobiles? In all the application, you have something called the cache memory. Cache. Have you seen that? So the cache memory plays a vital role in this, right? So in all the application, whatever you search, right, you give the permission, right? You give the permission for them to access your storage area, right? You give the permission for them to access your data area where it is being used, right? So what should be used, right? So you are just giving them the folder permission, right? The folder permission will be given so that the data whichever is being used, right, whatever you have searched, it will be stored in your storage area and it will be just accessing the application data. So the cache memory is something, whatever you are searching on it or typing on it, it will be having a bits and pieces and glimpse of that. From that, they are just retrieving and storing your data. Of course, if you can try in your mobiles, like you can clear out your cache memories, right? If you clicked on some apps, you go to the info, you'll be having storage where you'll have the cache memory, right? If you clean out the cache memory, the number of advertisements you'll be getting previously, it will be relevant to something, then it will be drastically, it will be changed because of the cache memory, because it doesn't have the previous history, right? What you have searched. So, and the next, so that is something like whatever we are doing now has been and monitored, and all the things which we are having is now have a data set of each and everyone, right? Even in Facebook, if you have seen, if I'm not sure how many of you things has been done on that, right? So yes, it is there. You can go into Facebook account settings. You have something called as off app of Facebook activities. So you click on that, it'll show you a list of activities you have been doing for past so many years. Or if you haven't disabled the settings, they'll be showing you everything. Like if you have a Facebook application in your mobile, it just like capturing all the data, whatever you have been doing, without even knowing. You guys are knowing that. It will tell you what and all applications you guys are using for how long, right? That much of clear instruction and data has been retrieved, right? While going for the data science, in the next level is like the virtual reality, where you would have heard of some games called as the Pokemon and all. Based on the augmented reality and virtual reality, it will just get capture the surroundings and it will make sure that it is even works in the local environment, right? Irrespective to the area which is not been there in the map, right? So, and this is the factor, guys. So this is how it has been evolved. So in the beginning days, it was not so much of digital, right? So it just was being manually. Digital has been replaced manual wording document and everything. So then it has been gradually moving towards networking, telecom circle and everything. Then in the last year, just like the last decades, like 2000, 2015, like mobility, like peer-to-peer connection, social networking, all the networking areas got drastically evolved with the help of the data which has been there. Then the mobile network is something which has been used to connect all the systems and applications and so on, right? With that, it just made sure that we are in a area where all data has been captured, right? So, and the latest one is like we have now all the data available. So with that, we are just moving towards the artificial intelligence, because then intelligence which requires the data to be trained. Let's take, if you are a kid, we'll be teaching that what has to be done, what is done, what is do's and don'ts, what is good and bad and everything, right? While going to the machine, it has to be taught by something. It has to be taught in all the possible combination, because we humans will be evolving. But you want a machine to be learned, it needs something from that, right? You would have seen the AI robots which are responding like and everything. Even for I guess you could have seen in the in your social medias where Bing AI just said like it want to go out and see the world and so thing, right? Based on the data, it just evolved. It started to analyze and evolving by itself. Right. So the next thing is like where it had all the areas of having blockchain technologies, Internet of Things, where it is just connecting overall everything with the help of robotics, networking, and everything. Right. So yes. So with this, we are just coming to an end. So I know I just went in a very rush manner. அப்படியே ட்ரெயின் எடுத்தவன் படபடன்னு அடிச்சுட்டு போயிட்டேன். But still, yes, this is something which I actually do it on a very long scale. But as a time permit, I just went on a short one to make sure to cover up all the topics on that. Right. So I'll pause the session for now for you guys to have any queries. I'll be really willing to answer your queries on this. Any open queries, any doubts or anything like that? So for the just for your information, like what are the trending technologies is like, if you guys are interested in coding, yes, there are people saying like using ChatGPT or coding skills and everything will be gone, but I don't believe on that. Yet still there's a hope or everything. You guys, the manual effort of all the activities are still being required. So manual efforts will be there. So coding and everything are still required. Coding, testing, and everything. So if there are people who may saying like I don't even know coding, then in that factor you guys have the option called like lot of other sectors which are there in the IT field, right? You may have testers, you may have support, you may have automation, you may have business analysts, you have power automate management roles, PMOs, and so on. So there's always an opportunity. So it's just about the fact of identifying what is the right skill you guys are into. Right. If you are looking into networking, yes, all the industries, irrespective of whatever automation or anything comes, networking plays a key vital role to have the connectivity between them, right? So without the connectivity, you can't do anything. So that's where the networking plays stands into picture. So yes, any queries from anyone? I'm open for queries. You can ask anything, irrespective if it's simple or silly.
Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can ask in the chat also.
Yep, you can ask in the chat box. Guys, feel free to ask, right? So how much ever you're asking the queries, that much you will gain the knowledge, right? So it's all about how much you ask. I have even seen people asking whether how much salary we'll get, what is the job opportunities we have to see if we want to get more than a lakh salary and so on. So doing masters is in correspondence is valuable. Yes, yes, it does the value. So it's not like you have to go to the thing. So, but if you're doing correspondent, I will see prefer like you get your job, then do that in the correspondent course so that you don't have to bear both. So you can do your activity, you can learn, and you can earn. So in that case, you can do it in the correspondent. So after your completion, it will just give add-on value to it, resume and everything. Any other queries? If no queries, I will just ask a query. What is the recent version of Angular? I guess you guys have heard of Angular, right? Angular technology. What is the recent version of Angular has been used in the industries? Or can someone tell me what are two different types of Angulars? What is the recent coding which is that coding language which has been used? JavaScript. For Angular, actually, JavaScript Angular is done. So it's currently working with Java. It's not. It's working with TypeScript. TS. Angular TS. So it's using version Angular 9 now. JavaScript was the old one. Angular 2 till that it was using JavaScript. Now it's been using TypeScript. So other than that, yes. Python. Freshers, yes. Even for Angular JS is long done, so we just have Angular now. JavaScript Angular is done, so we have Angular where we do that using TypeScript. For freshers, yes, we are even most of the companies are still. I actually had the slide. I accidentally removed the last slide where based on the latest technology for freshers, which and all companies are still taking and what is the salary they are even provided, right? So I had the slide. I'll give you again. I'll get you guys the details. I'll share the details to ma'am. So yes, it is there for freshers. Yes, we even you guys are still getting all the companies need freshers because freshers are something like we can mold as per what is required in the market. Right? What is demand for that particular company? We take the freshers, we use to train them, and we will mold them as per what we are required, so that you guys can do that or cope with that. Right. So we have Python, we have Angular, we have JavaScript, Java, and everything. So the coding languages are still there based on whatever technology we guys are going into, or what is the demand for that. Based on that, it will be getting determined, right? If you guys don't have any other queries, I'm over to you.
Vishika,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thanksgiving is the time of togetherness and gratitude. I would like to call Geeta Pri from 2nd BCA to propose the vote of thanks.
Yes, Geeta, you can proceed, ma. Geeta?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
A successful one on behalf of Sri Kanika Parmeshwari. Ma'am,
You can proceed, ma.
Ma'am.
We can't hear your voice, sir.
oh sorry, ma'am.
Yes, now.
Ma'am, now.
Yes, ma. You can proceed.
Thank you. I think it's a great privilege to propose report on this occasion. I would like to vote for making this program a successful one on behalf of Sri Kanika Parmeshwari Arts and Science College for Women. I thank our chief guest, Mr. A.J. Joyal, sir, Associate Manager in R.R. Darnley, who despite his busy schedule, having time to grace this occasion. Thank you, sir. I thank our management correspondent, Sri Uttakuru Sarat Kumar, sir, Principal Ma'am, Dr. T. Mohan Sri, Vice Principal Ma'am, Dr. P.B. Vanitha Ma'am, Dr. M.B. Napinai Ma'am, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. P. Baran Kumari Ma'am, IIC President, Dr. A.S. Navalata Ma'am, our department staff members for extending their hands in organizing program. Last but not least, I thank our fellow students for your cooperating in making this function a resounding success. Once again, I thank you all for your
I request everyone to switch on their video for photo session.